Hey guys, it's Christina at Sip With Me SLP, and today I wanted to talk about grad school and getting into grad school. I graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Madison in 2014, and during that senior year of college, I applied to 7 graduate schools and I got into 4 of them. And I just wanted to talk about my experiences in undergrad that I think made me a good candidate for graduate school, how I pulled myself together after getting a 2.8 GPA after my freshman year of college, and hopefully it can help you on your journey to becoming a speech therapist. Speech therapy graduate school is really competitive, so it's important that you have kind of a well-rounded resume, but it's not uncommon, unfortunately, for applicants to spend more than a year to get into graduate school. So let's rewind to freshman year of college. 2010, Christina did not know what she wanted to be when she grew up, so I was taking courses like calculus, chemistry, microbiology, and on top of that I had no idea what I was doing. I did not know how to study as a college student, and just ended up doing really terribly. I passed all my classes, but like I said, I had like a 2.8 GPA after my freshman year of college. Tears were had, and I just pulled it together. In between freshman and sophomore year of college, I found speech therapy as a major. I hadn't even heard of the job before, and I was like, this is what I want to do. And so from then on, I started taking the major courses. Typically the major in college is called Communication Sciences and Disorders. There's like 11 or 12 classes, I think, all about communication sciences and speech therapy. And so I knew I had to get straight A's in those, and I did. I ended up getting A's in almost all of those classes. And to be competitive, I'm not a dean of admissions, but typically what they say is admissions of graduate schools for speech therapy are looking for like a 3.8 GPA or higher to be competitive, whatever that means, for graduate school. That does not mean that you can't get in with less than that, but that's just kind of indicative of how competitive that the schools are. I did really well in all of my other classes and outside of the majors, so I pulled my GPA from a 3.8 up to a 3.4 by the time I graduated. And what I've heard about what they're kind of looking for in major GPA is a overall GPA is like a 3.6 or higher. Again, it does not mean that you can't get into graduate school with less than that, but a lot of, I think people wonder like how do I need a 4.0? No, it should be as high as possible, and typically I think it's like 3.6 range for your overall GPA, and then they're looking for mostly A's for the major. So that's just one part of the application. I think graduate school admissions for speech therapy are also looking for experiences with individuals with disabilities, experience with the public, experiences with organizing large amounts of data. A speech therapy job does all of these things and requires analytical skills and good people skills. So once I realized I wanted to be a speech therapist, I did really well in all of my classes. And then I also got as much experience as possible with people who had disabilities in the rest of my college time. So the bulk of my experiences that I ended up with were in research laboratories, and then also doing respite care and babysitting for children who had autism, basically. So as a respite care provider, I was working in home, supporting the daily living skills of young children with autism, and that was a good job for me in between semesters of college, and I also did some respite care with an adult who had an intellectual disability in college on campus as well. And so that got me real life experience on what caring for individuals with disabilities is like. And so that's my kind of a one-on-one experience with people who have disabilities. Also, a lot of my experience during undergraduate was in research labs. So the University of Wisconsin-Madison is an R1 research institution, and there are tons of research labs run by mostly professors in the undergraduate and graduate schools. So not only did I get experience, working in those labs, I got to form a relationship with those professors who later on wrote me really good letters of recommendation. My jobs in the lab included data entry, language transcription of language samples with kids who had communication disorders, as well as just a lot of like this and that tasks. So it was nice to have an hourly wage that paid my groceries basically. I think that research experience really made me look like a good candidate for graduate school because I wanted to do a thesis in graduate school. And so on my applications to, when it came to senior year, I was very specific about the work that I wanted to do as a graduate clinician. I said exactly what I hope to achieve in graduate school. So my letters of intent to these schools were, along the lines of, here's all my experiences. I would like to do a thesis at your school. I would like to work in this lab with this professor. I've already reached out to them. And so I just made sure that my application was as well-intentioned and well-rounded as possible. It was a lot of hard work. But I ended up getting in. It's kind of like finishing a marathon, the marathon of undergrad, and then going right into graduate school is like, now you're going to do it again, and you're not going to stop. All in all, I've been out for 3 years now working as a speech therapist, and the hard work is worth it for me, and I really enjoy the job, and I'm happy I went through it. And hopefully this can help you. I wish that I had someone to talk to that had recently been through the process when I was an undergraduate in college. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. I cannot believe I summed that up in like 8 minutes. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye, guys.